Hey everybody, welcome back. Making dog food again. In-laws are coming today, so you're hanging with me while I do stuff. I was going to film in the garden today, but I have a life. So, had a great night out with my husband last night until the end, when some entitled, ridiculous woman came in and interrupted everything. And I feel that I need to address it, because the attitude she came in with is absolutely what is wrong with society. So welcome back to the Green Eyed Girl podcast. So you all know by now, my husband and I don't go out to eat very often. We do a lot of meal prep. We do a lot of cooking at home. So when we do go out, it's a treat for us. It's fun. So we decided last night to go to what is the busiest restaurant in our little local town. In all of the time that we have lived here, we eat there fairly often. It's nothing fancy. It's, one of the kind of national chain steakhouses, but it's the busiest restaurant in the town. Of all the times we've been there, I think we've only sat at a table once. We normally just catch a couple bar stools because we don't want to wait 45 minutes just to get in. We would rather just kick it at the bar. So we do. We sit there and we have our date. We have good food, laugh and talk. And as usual, showed up. There's tons of people waiting in line. We were there for probably an hour and a half, just between appetizer and dinner and just kicking it. We're never in any rush when we go there because we know how long it takes to get food. So we're just there, kicking it. And after a while, this lady across the bar from us is freaking out. It's been 45 minutes. This is a steak and baked potato place. It should not take 45 minutes for me to get a takeout order. This is a treat to myself. I worked so hard. I was supposed to be feeding my animals an hour ago. Throwing a fit to try to get a discount on her food. And disturbing everyone at the bar. And she kept trying to get people around her involved. And they were all obviously mortified and trying to look away from her. And she persisted. And she ended up yelling at very nice waitstaff, by the way. They were fantastic to us all night. They're super busy. We know they're super busy, but they were great. They were kind. They were polite. They didn't interrupt us when we were talking. Great people. And she was just being horrible. And I try not to start beef in public because I don't want to get my husband into a fight, right? 'Cause, let's be real. It's not his beef. But she just sat there and complained and just sounded like an entitled brat. And this is exactly what feminism hath wrought. I guarantee you, my husband and I work harder than that woman. I guarantee you that the men who were waiting outside for 45 minutes to an hour and a half with their families, this is their treat to themselves too. They got up, they went to work all week, they decided to take the family out for a nice steak dinner at the local restaurant. And sitting at the bar is this woman who thinks that her takeout order should have prioritized everybody who was sitting in the restaurant. And she just thinks that because this is her treat to herself, that the whole world should revolve around her. We waited 45 minutes for our food too. We knew what we were getting into. And if you sat at the bar for 45 minutes, because she took a picture when she sat down, so she was prepared to bitch about this. Prepared. But she took a picture when she sat down to log the time. And she said she waited 45 minutes. And then she proceeded to say that her animals on her farm were supposed to eat an hour ago. Well, bitch, that just makes you negligent, doesn't it? That means you took the time to drive in instead of feeding your animals when you were supposed to. And then you ruin everybody in the vicinity's night just because you're an entitled cunt. This is what feminism has brought to society. And I asked my husband for permission to start calling this out in public and just pointing this out at people and making sure everybody understands that this is what should be rejected from society. He hasn't made up his mind yet. But I wanted to look at her and just point out all of this. You're absolutely not entitled to someone else's food. She just kept saying, this is a steak and baked potato place. It takes 45 minutes. I could have made a baked potato at home myself in 45 minutes. Then you should have done it. Because you're right, it does take 45 minutes to make a baked potato. And there's an entire restaurant of people who've been waiting 45 minutes for their baked potato. She just kept saying, well, there should have been some done. You should have them on all the time. I used to be in restaurant service. If you actually used to work in restaurant service, then you should know how very hated customers like you are, woman. And this is just a common thing. Women get in and they seem to think that because they work hard, they should just be entitled to everything. But no, there's actually entire families sitting here waiting for 45 minutes. And there's actually people sitting outside, who wait 45 minutes to get a table so that they can come in and sit down and enjoy some appetizers and some bread with their family while they wait 45 more minutes for their food to get to the table. But yeah, because you had a takeout order that you decided to place in the restaurant, you're entitled to a discount because you work hard and this was a treat to yourself. Guys, we all need to just start calling this out in public. We need to just start pushing this and just rejecting it from society at large, because it's a degradation to our society. And it's a constant problem. It's everywhere. Women do this everywhere. You're not entitled to things. It doesn't matter that you work hard. It didn't matter that my husband and I worked hard all day yesterday. We wanted to go out on the motorcycle, ride into town, have a nice dinner. We talked conspiracy theories, all kinds of fun stuff. I didn't feel that I was entitled to my dinner faster than 45 minutes because everyone in that restaurant was waiting for 45 minutes. Everybody works hard all week. Going out to eat in this day and age with prices where they are, that's kind of everybody's treat to themselves. And treating waitstaff, who was incredibly kind the entire time while dealing with you, they didn't deserve that. So we need to start rejecting this entitlement mentality that women have out of society on the whole. We can't keep living like this. They hold the rest of us hostage. They ruin the rest of our nights. Everybody in that restaurant went out to eat as a treat at the end of the day. And I'm telling you right now, woman didn't look like she did anything. Not a single thing. She didn't look like she'd worked hard. She didn't look exhausted. She was just riled up. And she did it for show because she felt entitled to get a discount on her food. In this day and age, you could have gotten online, placed the order for your food, seen exactly how long it was going to take to prepare, fed your animals, driven into town, picked up your to-go order, and left, all without disrupting everyone else. But no, you feel that you're entitled to come sit at a bar stool, disturb 15 people sitting around it, and try to garner sympathy while treating other people like garbage. That's feminism. Oh, and may I point out, the servers she was treating like garbage were all young women. They were all college-aged, young women, and very mild-mannered, soft-spoken ones. They were actually kind of hard to hear. But they were so nice. And they didn't deserve what they got last night. Everybody in this country right now is working really hard just to survive. So when we go out to eat, it is a treat. It's middle America, okay? We live in a small town. And we drove to the closest larger town. And I'm telling you, even that one is not very big. And that's how that woman decided to come and treat people last night. That's feminism. And as a society, we just need to start seeing people behave like that and look at them and say, look, you're not actually entitled to this. You made a mistake. You erred. Shut up, pay your bill, and get the fuck out. That needs to just start being society standard. We need to start shaming these entitled brats for their ill behavior in public. Because I'm sick of it. And it's holding all of us hostage, all of us who just want to live a normal life and who understand that we chose the busiest restaurant in town, which means our food's going to take a minute. I could have stayed home. I could have made food. I could have made really the same food at home. But sometimes it's actually fun to get out in public and interact with people until women like her, who really should have stayed at home, decide to come out in public. So ladies, please start calling out the entitled bitch mentality. Let's just start rejecting it, because it gives all of us normal people the ick, right? When you go out into public and you see women just behaving like this and wanting to skip the line because, well, we worked hard all week and I'm treating myself. All of us women that actually work hard and know that this is a treat, but we actually chose the busiest restaurant, it gives us the ick. I looked at everybody else's faces around the bar and it gave everybody the ick. And the people sitting directly next to her looked vastly uncomfortable, but didn't want to confront her. They just kind of kept nodding and like looking down like, please leave me alone, please disengage. We need to stop just trying to disengage with it. We need to call it out. We need to shame that and push back towards a sane society, because the entitlement problem has just gone too far. You're not that special. None of us are that special. I'm not special. I'm just a Midwestern chick with a friggin' podcast, okay? Guys, I'm filming in my barn while making dog food. I'm nobody, okay? I'm just somebody in middle America with opinions. And the joy of the internet is that I get to put them out here, and people who want to hear the opinions can come listen and not. But this is just common sense, okay? There is no entitlement here. There shouldn't be. That entitled mentality all stems from feminist bullshit. This proves my point from last week. Feminism was never about equality. It was about wanting special privileges and to be entitled. That's the problem with women. So let's start rejecting it so that we can go forward and have nicer days and nicer lives without that behavior. I hope you all have lovely days, lovely evenings that are not filled with entitled bitches. And if they are, look at her and make sure she understands she's an entitled cunt. Hope you all have a great one. See you next time.